Today I want to teach you how to grow giant Swiss chard in your kitchen garden. Swiss chard is one of my favorite things to grow. It's so beautiful, so delicious, and so nutritious. So I'm going to show you the secret to growing giant Swiss chard today. You ready? Let's do it. Welcome to Gardenary. My name is Nicole Burke, and garden plus ordinary equals gardenary. So I'm on a mission to make gardening a very normal, everyday part of your life. So whether you're a beginner gardener and just getting started, that's awesome. Or if you're an experienced gardener and you want to start your own gardening business, or somewhere in between, Gardenary has something for you. So stay tuned, subscribe, hit the bell so that you know every single time we drop a great video like this one on Swiss chard, and let's get to it. Growing Swiss chard is so fun. I love putting Swiss chard in the front of my gardens. I read a book years ago before I started my business, Rooted Garden. I think it was called The Beautiful Edible Front Yard or something like that. Anyway, this woman, I'll put a link to the book below. She writes about the particular vegetables that look really pretty in the front yard. She calls them like showstoppers or something like that. And Swiss chard was on the list. So I was like, ding, 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 I'm gonna put Swiss chard in all my gardens, and I always make it a purpose to put Swiss chard at the front of the beds because it's cute, right? So let's talk about 4 ways to grow giant Swiss chard. Now, these are not quite giant status yet, but they're getting there. And they've only been in the garden for, say, I don't know, 45, maybe 60 days at this point. So step 1 to growing beautiful giant Swiss chard is the setup. You want to have a great setup for your Swiss chard. I've seen the most success with Swiss chard in growing it in raised beds. Not just raised beds, but tall raised beds. In the backyard, I've got a 1-foot tall raised bed, and I tried to grow Swiss chard back there, and guess what happened? The rabbits ate it up. They are literally, every time a little leaf forms, the rabbit eats it up. So I don't know what it is about the 2-foot tall beds, but the rabbits just aren't getting to it. So you wanna make sure you're growing it in a pretty high space in great soil. So Swiss chard loves a really rich soil, and you could even probably plant it in almost 100% compost if you wanted to. So make sure you've got a great setup. Second thing is I love growing Swiss chard from seed. I find the most success with this plant when I plant it from seed rather than a transplant. Now you can transplant it, but I don't recommend it. So starting from seed is super important. I love growing Swiss chard. You can start it even when there's still a threat of frost. It will get a little bit of damage if it gets heavy frost on the leaves, but they'll start to germinate and start to grow even before the threat of frost has passed. Swiss chard is in the goosefoot family, otherwise known as the amaranth family. And in that family is also beets and spinach. So you'll see a little bit of similarity in like the leaf formation and the type of growth. But the unique part of Swiss chard is that the leaves are huge, and it's these huge leaves that we get to eat. But there's a really cool thing about Swiss chard. You also get to eat the stems. The stems are almost like a celery. So it's just this really fun plant where you get to enjoy all parts of it from the garden. So second step, I diverted a little bit there, but second step is to grow it from seed. The third step is what I've already been doing here, is keeping it clean. So as you can see, this leaf already has a little bit of pest damage. You can tell from the holes right here inside the leaf. That means some little caterpillar or pest or little hoverfly or something is trying to eat on this leaf. What you don't want to do is let these leaves just hang out in the garden. So a key to growing great and beautiful Swiss chard leaves is to harvest or prune away the bad leaves in the first place. So at least once a week, I like to come into my Swiss chard plant and start at the lower part of the plant and just cut away you know, the older leaves. So these plants grow from the center, from the heart. You can see that here. See these new baby leaves forming? Even this teeny tiny little girl, look at her. She's so little. So that's where the new ones come. Those are going to be your healthiest ones. And the least healthy ones, the ones that are going to be most impacted by pests, disease, or bad weather, are going to be your outside and lower leaves. So that is step 3 to having great, beautiful Swiss chard is to keep these kind of damaged leaves off the plant and to not let the leaves touch the soil. When your leaves are touching the soil, it's almost like a bridge that you're providing for the pests. You're kind of like, come on into my plant. We don't want to do that, right? So when your leaves start to flop over or grow so big or touch the soil, you want to come underneath your plant, prune all those leaves away, and make sure that all the leaves on your Swiss chard are growing upright and not outright. All right, that's step 3. Step 4 is to harvest and enjoy it often. So even though these leaves don't look amazing, they're still totally edible. There's nothing wrong with them. I just need to wash them off and, you know, do that. So don't be afraid of a little bit of pest damage. It doesn't mean anything is going to harm you. And the cool thing is, believe it or not, when your plants are attacked a little bit by pests, they actually build up their antioxidants inside their plant to fight off the bad guys. So when you eat plants that have been attacked a little bit, it's actually going to be even better for you because those plants have more nutrients to give you because they've been creating their own. Is that amazing? Hello! That's why we should be eating organic plants. All right, so to my point, so don't just harvest these and prune these away, but also harvest from your plant fairly regularly. So I come in at least once a week, and you want to cut off at least 1 to 2 leaves from your plant every single week. This is going to tell your plant, it's kind of like getting a haircut. You know how they tell you if you get your hair cut regularly, it'll grow faster? Well, what this does is it kind of, it signals to the plant to keep producing. And it also relieves the plant of caring for more baggage than it necessarily has to, you know? It's like when you leave all these large mature leaves on the plant is having to sustain all that matter and all that growth, and so it puts less effort into pushing out new healthy growth from the center. So just once a week you can come into your plants, harvest 1 or 2 leaves per plant, and you're going to see lots of extra healthy growth coming up right after you do that. So that is it. Those are the 4 steps to growing beautiful, healthy, giant Swiss chard. Like I said, this one's not giant variety yet, but just you wait. About a month or 2 from now, these beauties are gonna be huge. So that's it. 4 steps to growing giant, beautiful, productive, nutritious Swiss chard in your own kitchen garden. If you haven't grown Swiss chard yet, you got to try it. And if you have, I'd love to hear about your experience doing it. Be sure you put in the comments below questions you have about growing Swiss chard or anything else you want to know about growing this delicious, awesome plant. And if you have tips that you'd like to share with us, you can put those in the comments too. Listen, if you want to learn how to grow your own self to the next level in the garden, you got to take my Green Thumb quiz. After helping so many students and clients grow to the next level, I developed this short little fun quiz that helps you determine where you are right now in your gardening journey. So all you got to do is answer a few questions, and at the end, we'll tell you what kind of gardener we think you are and give you some free resources to help you grow to the next level. The Green Thumb quiz link is right here below this video, so just click it, take the quiz. It just takes a few seconds and you'll be on your Gardenary garden journey right away. Thanks so much for watching Gardenary. Thanks for hanging out in the kitchen garden with me. Now I'm gonna go eat some Swiss chard. I'll see you next time.